Please introduce yourselves and tell us where you guys are originally from.
My name is Nancy Seibert. This is my husband, Chuck, and we are from Frisco, Texas.
Alrighty.
But we're not originally from Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
Nancy's originally from Cortland, New York, and I'm originally from Guilderland, New York.
Great. And why did you guys decide to become work campers?
We decided to get out of the Texas heat in the summertime when we reached the age where working in 102 degree temperatures wasn't much fun anymore. That's the real reason that we work camp, is to get into cooler temperatures in the summer.
Sure.
Yep.
So you guys are just part-time then, and you still have a home base in Texas?
We do. We have a home in Frisco, and we only live in the motorhome when we're work camping for 4 to 5 months in the summer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how long have you guys been work camping?
Started in 2001, missed a few years in 2004 and 6, I think, some in that neighborhood, and then since 2007 we've been steady work campers every summer.
Awesome. Okay. And what was your process for getting started with work camping? Was there any preparation or planning you guys did ahead of time?
I don't think you could say we had a lot of preparation. We went to Flag Ranch to get out of the Texas heat, and Nancy's brother offered her a job working for the company he worked for at Grand Teton Lodge Company. So we sort of fell into work camping rather than planned it, as a getaway. We didn't do it on purpose, did we?
No, and we were looking for different places, that we might like to spend summer other than the Tetons. And then Chuck found the work camping site, and he would come out to me and said, well, what does this sound like? Does this sound like something we want to do this summer? So it's been a wonderful process of finding out where jobs or volunteer opportunities are available. So we enjoyed that.
That's what we got from Work Camper, was the ability to look at different things in different parts of the country.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what are some of the work camping experiences that you guys have had during your summers of traveling?
Well, we were camp hosts in Clay Creek, Oregon, and watched it, an empty campsite in rain for about 3 weeks. But we also had work camping experience in Colville, Washington at the Little Ponderay Wildlife Refuge, and that was a great experience. We had a good time there. And probably would have gone back there had we not found Cherie. Okay. Cherie is a great asset to the Yellowstone Association. She makes this place a fun place to work.
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah. That's great. So you've been Yellowstone Association for how many years now?
This is our second summer.
Okay.
Second full year here.
Yeah. Okay.
We come in mid-May and we leave at early October.
Okay.
So.
Right.
Okay. What else was it about the work camping experience that got your attention and got you excited and got you up here?
Yellowstone National Park. I mean, this, if we had our total preference, we would always spend the summer somewhere in the Grand Tetons or the Yellowstone National Park area. This is just an awesome place. We had worked, off and on from 2001 on in the Grand Tetons and thought that we knew what was up here. And after spending last year here, we discovered that we hadn't even scratched the surface of what is in Yellowstone National Park. There's 2.23 million acres here, and you can't see it from the road. You've got to hike and get off the road, either onto some of the gravel 4-wheel drive roads or the hiking trails, to see this place and see what it means to the American heritage here. This is just a fantastic compilation of all of the forces of nature, mostly unmolested throughout, since the white man came, put it that way.
And in 1988 is when the big fires took place here in Yellowstone. And in that summer, we were down at Coulter Bay, down in the Tetons, because my brother was on staff down there and watching, you know, the activity that was happening when the park was going up in flames up here. So we have enjoyed coming back almost every year, and in the wintertime too, snowmobiling several times.
Snowmobile in here several times.
Coming back and seeing the growth of the trees and the regeneration of the fauna and the flora here in the park and the wildlife. So I think my favorite time is coming here in the spring, because the creeks are full, the rivers are full, the animals are coming in.
Yeah.
And then last summer when we were here, they were herding the bison back into the park from West Yellowstone.
Right.
And on horseback, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
You can't explain, and as you two well know, when you go back home, pictures don't show everything that's available in this park. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
What are your favorite aspects of being sales associates for Yellowstone Association?
Mine absolutely is visiting with the visitors that come in, the folks that come in. It's an awesome opportunity to see folks that visit here for the very first time, not just from our country, but all over the world. And some of whom have waited, you know, many, many years to come here to the park. And their experiences, whether it's a bad weather day or an awesome weather day, are always the same. They're just glad to be here, and they'll probably be coming back. So mine is absolutely with the visitors and in the interaction with them. The children that come in and see it, and they're, because the limitation of Wi-Fi and technology, you know, here in the park, the children are focused, and the Yellowstone Association store has such wonderful reference books that to watch the parents and the children, you know, look through those books and see how they can enjoy the park even more with those references with them. That's what I love, because I was involved in education for many, many years back home. So to watch that interaction for me is my favorite part.
Cool.
I enjoy helping the people to find the different things that are available to them here. And although it says that we're sales associates, I would say sales is probably only half of what we do. The other half of what we do are help the people find the things they're looking for in Yellowstone, whether it's through our reference materials or just plain conversation, pointing at things on the map and explaining where the Midway Geyser Basin is, and where the Grand Prismatic Pool is, and where the mud pots are, and the artist paint pots, and the different places, you know, that they can go and see here that they've heard about or read about. And they don't, when they get here, it's so large and so intimidating to some people that they need some help getting started on their exploration of, you know, Yellowstone. So, you know, I enjoy doing that. And then, of course, the other aspects that we enjoy are having the time off to do that exploring ourselves, you know, which is unique to Yellowstone Association. This is the first organization that I've been involved with where working you 40 to 48 hours a week was not their goal. Their goal was to have you work enough hours that you could sustain yourself here and enjoy the park.
So if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit more about some of the specific duties that you guys do in the bookstores. I know, you know, you've hit on it a little bit with you know, making the sales and giving directions and all that fun stuff, but what are some of the other things that you guys are responsible for?
Well, a big part of it, because it's a nonprofit, that their profits all go back into the park due to the memberships that we invite people to become members of the association. And when we take the time to explain where their membership, how it helps here in the park, it's an awareness. They make eye contact with you, and it's an awareness, and there's almost no hesitation that they would like to become part of that, helping Yellowstone. Not realizing that we're not part of the National Park Service, and therefore it's not a budget thing, but that our members are fully involved, you know, in supporting, putting money back here in the park. So when you take the time to tell them where their profits are going, in the exhibits and the reference materials, some archaeological sites that we're trying to get funding and preserve the things that are in those sites. And so that kind of, if you take the time, if the visitors take the time and learn more about that, then then it's the memberships can sell themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Okay. And then, of course, we do stocking. You know, we have to bring the stock in every day. We sell, although the dollar volume is not that high, we sell a tremendous number of things. Those magnets that, you know, are $3, and stickers and patches and walking stick medallions and things like that. All that has to be restocked constantly. So those are some of the duties that we have, as well as selling merchandise and memberships at the cash register.
Okay. Do you guys have to clean the bookstore at all? Is that part of?
We do the dusting and the vacuuming. You know, the opening crew vacuums, and then each day there's an assigned area that's supposed to be dusted. Although currently with our full staffing status, we end up dusting the store almost every day. You know, all of it, and we get a lot of dust and dirt here on the floors because almost everything is gravel. When you get out beyond the visitor center 100 feet or so, everything is this black rhyolite gravel that came from the volcano originally, and that gets tracked in. So we do a lot of that vacuuming and dusting in the store. So we do clean, and then the girls clean the plexiglass display stands and all kinds of things.
And because most of the employees are retired folks, and we do not like just standing around, it's always quiet in the store just before the geyser goes off, as you probably noticed today. It gets very, very quiet. So it gives us an opportunity to put things back where they belong, to keep the store in shape, make sure things are stocked on the shelves. And then as soon as the geyser goes off, then the store becomes full. So we want to make sure everything's in place, and that allows us to make sure we know what the stock is that's in the store by, you know, going around and keeping everything stocked up.
Okay, so have you guys worked in the Old Faithful, the bookstore there each time you've come, or have you moved
both
around?
years we've worked here at Old Faithful. Now I have filled in at the Grant Village store, but it's not a common thing for us to have to go out to the other stores. We do have what they call a floater associate, which you know, she will go, he will go to the different stores when somebody needs a day off or somebody's sick or whatever, and that type of thing. But both years our experience has been here at Old Faithful, which is different from the other stores. In the other stores, they don't have Old Faithful, so they don't have this dead period for a few minutes and then you know, a constant rush, a huge crowd that comes back in from the geyser. Their visitors come in, they do, you know, browse and look at the displays in the other visitor centers, but it's a more consistent thing all day long. So this is different here. And it's also busier here than it is at any of the other stores.
Yeah, I mean, you'll go somewhere else in the park and see a handful of people, and then you come here and you're like, oh, there's everybody. Okay, they're all here.
They all come to Old Faithful. They sure do.
Absolutely. Understandable, though. Is there any challenges or aspects to your positions that you've come across that maybe people should be aware of when they're looking at potentially work camping with Yellowstone Association? Maybe it's more physical than you initially expected, or maybe just anything that folks should consider and be aware of.
They should be aware that it's probably less physical than they might expect. You know, you need to hike and walk and get some exercise outside of that store, because you only have a certain area that you're working in, and it doesn't give you an opportunity for a lot of physical exercise inside the retail stores, any of them. The other thing that you have to be aware of here is that we are a cashier, and you have to pay attention to detail. Our transactions, some of which are fairly complicated, you have to want to be able to work a computer-driven cash register, and you have to be able to accept the fact that you need to do it right, because errors cause real problems with the accounting and balancing of the drawer and the accounting department's keeping track of this inventory and the stock and things. And if you would rather not have to be detail oriented, this is probably not the job for you.
Absolutely.
And then they have to be people oriented, because after all, what we do all day is deal with people. We're not painting signposts or, you know, driving a truck or whatever.
Yeah.
We're dealing with people who have come here, some of which don't speak English fluently. They may speak a little English, or they get along as best they can by
Yeah.
holding out their hand and showing you what change they have or what money they have to spend. So it takes some patience sometimes too.
And folks who come as work campers should not be intimidated at all about foreign languages. We have found for the most part over the past summer, we do have a lady working with us this summer who does speak Mandarin, but we find for the most part that all of our visitors do speak some limited English, and so trying to help them in the store or referring them to something has not been a problem. So people should not be intimidated by with the number of foreign visitors we have.
Good.
Everything is workable.
If you have patience, right?
Absolutely.
It
If you have
just
patience
takes a
and you're
little patience
people-oriented.
with the people.
Yeah,
You have to be people oriented, really.
Absolutely.
That's what this boils down to. This job is a people job.
Definitely. Definitely, yeah. And when you guys are working, do you pretty much just work with other work campers, or are there other, international students or any other Yellowstone Association
All of our employees are work campers in one degree or another. Our managers are basically work campers, only they may be full-time, RVers. Not all of our people are.
We don't have
So-
apartments available like the for-profit stores have dormitories and all available for college students or even older adults who don't have RVs. Yellowstone Association does not have that available too. So you need to have an RV to be here.
So that's what limits our, we don't have very many foreign students or college students or whatever that work for us. Consequently, we don't have the problem of the college students going back in the middle of August and leaving us short-handed either.
True.
All of
that's
these
benefit.
people who are here have had successful careers doing something else, and they're now doing this to enjoy Yellowstone or to get away from, a warmer, hotter, harder climate somewhere else. Yeah.
Definitely.
And we aren't pressed in the Yellowstone Association to work the number of hours that the for-profit retail stores may find themselves in at the end of summer when college students are disappearing. So basically our hours have been about 30 hours a week, and there is flexibility in that. If someone is not feeling well or something, the other employees will fill in the gaps. We had a death in the family this summer and had to be gone for a week, and the employees stepped up and the manager worked the schedule around it. So retired folks are going to have those kind of challenges, their own parents aging or something, our own health that may be impacted. But the employees are awesome and the management has been awesome about stepping up and taking care of that. So we have no problem at all with worrying about whether we're going to leave them shorthanded or not.
Right.
Everybody just steps up and helps each other.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And is it 30 hours a week for each of you, since you
Right.
guys are a couple? Okay. Okay. And what are you guys provided for your work here?
2 uniform shirts
Okay.
and all the training you can stand, I guess.
Absolutely. And we're given resource books at the beginning of the year, so wonderful reference books that the association gives us so that we can become as informed as we can be with regard to helping the visitors that come into the park. So, and then the Yellowstone Association Institute class that we take, and fortunately Chuck and I had a class this year on the Nez Perce that came through the park, but the instructor was Lee Whittlesey, and he is the park historian. So we learned much more than we were expecting to learn. It was an awesome experience. So we were able to pass a lot of that knowledge on to the visitors that came in as well. So it's fun to see where the employees, what institute classes they take and their experiences when they grow up. We stayed at Lamar, the Lamar Ranch up there, and so it's an awesome opportunity as well because that's where a lot of the bison and the wolves and the bears are this time of the year. So,
And that's one of the benefits that you guys have as Yellowstone Association staff folks is you get to attend one of the institute classes or education sessions.
One a year, that's
We
true
do.
for as a benefit of working here. And we can also attend an institute class if they have space and we can pay,
Okay.
which is rather rare or uncommon that they have space, because the institute courses are well attended. They're sought after. So that's a benefit of working here.
Okay, and we're here in your RV, so obviously they have a spot for you guys, and then I think it sounds like, but they give you the spot, but you do pay a fee to be in the
we
spot.
We pay a rental fee to the National Park Service for the use of this site.
Okay.
And that there are only a limited number of sites assigned to the Yellowstone Association. There are other sites assigned to the other for-profit corporations that operate the stores and gas stations and things here in the park. So only a limited number are available, but yes, they do, right, they give us a spot to park, since we got to live somewhere.
That's
when
right.
you're here.
That's right.
And they don't have any other housing.
Mm-hmm. And I believe Cherie was telling us they just take the amount out of your paycheck, so it's not like you have to worry about doing something else. It's just sort of...
That's new this year, yeah.
Oh,
Last year
okay.
we paid the Park Service directly for both the electricity and the parking fee in the campsite. This year the Park Service decided that was too complicated, so they were going to charge Yellowstone Association for the whole thing and let Yellowstone Association get it from the employees. Right?
Manage the...
And we're not propane dependent this year. We were last year, but most of the association members are dependent on propane. So they arrange that before they come in
And that's
with a local vendor.
Okay.
the employee has to pay that themselves also. Yeah.
You are in an employee area, so you're out of the public. And
We are.
Nice little wooded camping area. And what type of wildlife have you guys seen around your campsite when you've been here?
Well, last year Buffalo Bill was right outside that door. A big bison bull was right outside that
Yeah,
door.
because you took
eating
his
the
spot,
grass.
right?
We did, because he used to lay down right here in the early spring before we got here.
That's right.
And this year we've had him wander through, but I brought so many toys with me this year that he found it uncomfortable to be confined in here, so I didn't have to deal with him right up next to the motorhome this year. But yeah, and we've seen coyotes, and we've seen
The deer.
deer.
That come
We
through.
had 4 deer last year that
And
went
elk.
back and forth. And later in late September we'll have elk wandering around in here.
Right.
Because they're looking for the girls,
Yeah.
or their girls trying to catch up with their guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
But we were told last year, as association member, if we were late to work and we told them that there was a bison that would not let us get out of our motorhome, that they would accept that as an excuse, because the reality is that Bill could get in the way and it would take a while to get out. We
Yeah.
didn't have that happen to us. Bill decided he would move before we needed to do that. But we've had employees over at the with the wash house and stuff that did say they couldn't get in and do their laundry because Bill was standing
Laying
around.
in front of the door, yeah.
But they're not. He's not here often enough. You should not be. We were not intimidated by him at all. I know you're supposed to, keep 25 yards away from the wildlife here in the park, but Bill he's just a fixture here, and he's not here to. No one has been injured from his visits, so we're good.
Okay.
Yes.
He says. We were late for work one day, coming back from West Yellowstone. We got caught in what we call bison jam here.
Oh, that's right.
'Cause there was a bison walking down the road, and of course it blocked traffic in both directions, and so we were about 45 minutes late for work one day
Oh, wow.
because of that. But it was acceptable. We called them and said, "Hey, we're stuck between West and the 7 Mile Bridge in the Madison Valley
Yeah.
because of the bison jams."
That's right. I forgot about that one.
And you guys are, pretty close to work here, employee campground to Old Faithful. It's just a couple-minute drive.
Less than a mile to walk.
Yeah.
Actually, if you walk, it's shorter than driving.
Okay.
I actually can get there faster on my bicycle than
Yeah,
he can when
right.
he takes the vehicle. So we're.
Sure.
It's a fun job.
That's great. Okay, and you do have full hookups here in the site?
Yes. Yeah, we have water, electric, and sewer hookup here.
Okay.
Which is all you could ask for.
Yeah, yeah. And you said there was a laundry room not too far
Correct.
around the
Yep.
corner too? Yeah,
Correct.
so nice little space. And you're intermixed with other companies' workers as well.
Correct.
So is it a nice little community here?
Oh, it is.
What's
Yeah,
that
we
like?
know that we know a lot of the park rangers, and the nurses have one of those mobile homes I was telling you about over
Okay.
here, where the medical clinic personnel have some people here, and so you see a lot of different people. Sure do.
We're really fortunate here at the Old Faithful Visitor Center because the interpretive rangers is not so much law enforcement, but we see mostly the interpretive rangers at the front desk, which is near our store. And the amount of information that's shared, and they keep us advised if there are fires in the parks, or they've come in and told us if a road has been shut down and stuff. So the relationship between the rangers and the maintenance folks here in this area and the work campers has been outstanding.
What have you guys learned working for Yellowstone Association that you could take with you to a future work camping position, or something to add to your resume or something like that?
Well, in my case, it's patience with people, and helping people without being frustrated in their lack of prior knowledge to what they, what's here. Of course, having a longer history of working here and around here, we kind of had done a lot of research and reading and preparation before we came here. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people just drive to Wyoming and they go, okay, I'm going to look at Yellowstone National Park, and I don't know where it is or what it looks like or where to go when I get there. And so we do a lot of that. We do a lot of, you go here and go there. And so, I think I would probably be a lot more comfortable working in a public situation than I was 2 years ago.
Awesome. Great.
And mine is just that I look at and always hope that there's an opportunity that we can learn something from it, always, and no matter what circumstance it is. I was very active in my community back home with regard to the environment. Our town was small when we moved there, only 1,600 people. It's 127,000 now, which means developers wanted to come in and mow down a lot of trees and change the creeks and things like that. So being here in Yellowstone and seeing it from the inside out instead of just a visitor, the awareness that I have taken out of here of what it takes to keep this park and the visitors and everybody working together to keep it the way it is. If we decide sometime in the future to go to work for another national park, the awareness that we're going to take away from what we've learned here in Yellowstone has been greatly heightened. I just have such an appreciation, always had an appreciation for the outdoors and how we all need to work together. But the Yellowstone Association has given me lots of opportunities with regard to exploring and the reference materials that are available and the reading of the history of it and the geology of it before. Even though I've been visiting here since 1952 as a young child, and then the many times we've come in here in the wintertime and all seasons of the years now. But it's a wonderful, if you don't take advantage of the 5 months that you're here, of the opportunities to see it from the trails and biking and taking classes and all, you've missed a wonderful opportunity.
Well, is there anything else that you guys would want to add, whether it be about Yellowstone Association or just about work camping in general, that you would want to share?
I can tell you how many other employees for the for-profit stores have approached us and said that they were really interested in a situation with the Yellowstone Association nonprofit store, because many times they have come into the store and observed the relationship we all have with each other, and there is the appearance of no pressure at all, and there really isn't by the offices, the corporate offices up in Gardner. We don't have that kind of pressure, and it makes for such a wonderful work environment. And I can tell you, because I worked for a concessionaire one time in the national parks, and towards the end of the season when employees start leaving, it puts a lot of pressure on other people. So the Yellowstone Association has really worked out for us.
It's a great place to work.
Absolutely
it really is. These people are employee oriented. Their typical statement is we want you guys to go out and have fun because we want you to come back next year. And obviously, typically we use people who are retired from successful careers doing something else. So there's not a lot of problems with employees. There just isn't, because everybody is an adult and they realize that coming to work on time is important, and cashing out your register correctly is important, and they don't have to be told that. They don't have to be herded or or coerced into doing their job. That's not true in all work situations with in work camping.
Sure.
As you well know, there's a million different work camping situations out there.
Oh yeah.
Some are good, some are not.
Mm-hmm.
But last summer when we came, Cherie met us down here to guide us to our spot. She got out of her vehicle and she came right up to our truck, and we got outside and we got the biggest hug.
Yeah.
And with folks that respect your time and what you've done in the past and respect the experience you bring to the job, you can't ask for any work situation that's better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm getting clipped, but it's difficult to work with people who don't respect that you don't have to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
This is your choice as well, and yes, they're interviewing you for that process. But more importantly than anything to me is others who respect what you're bringing in as far as experience goes into the position. And we have felt that from everyone in the management position here. So Cherie was the reason that we once we got to know her on the telephone, but once we met her in person, she knows there are no strangers to Cherie.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a friend. So she made it very easy to let them know that we wanted to come back for another summer. Absolutely did. And with people like that, makes the work experience awesome. Great
Work environment here is the most appealing part of this job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not difficult to get up and go to work here.